I'm bending.
Part of appliance.
Yeah.
Appliances.
A-N-C-E-S. I already got the C, N, but I'm going to bend the rest of it. So I have to measure, because this is going to be my first bend. So I'm just going to hold it here like this, put a mark. Now, gonna bend around. First part of the S. Could bend the whole half. I'm trying to show you a way where it's kind of easier. I would be bending the whole half if I wasn't making a video. It's got more of a curve on this end, so I'm going to heat this side up a little bit more. But it's still all going to be as hot as it needs to be to bend when I bend it. But you'll just get a little bit more action over here. All right. Use my block. Keep it flat. Take some of the heat off the top side. Now I'm going to do a double back. When you're working with a long stick, until you get used to it, just try not to take your eyes off the bend when you're bending the bend. Or doing anything when you're working with it. When it's ready, bend. So they had my block ready already. I already have a mark on here because I just made this. The sign's double-sided. So I'm marking the glass. I'm going to heat up this part of the S. Block handy. Even though it's open this far, I'm only going to heat up the part I need to. It's hotter. This end's already hot, so you have to kind of get this end hot. It takes about 10-15 seconds. Then you can go heat up everything. Tricky once you start getting into doing bends because you got to make sure both sides of the glass is evenly heated and heated up enough to do your bend. Sticking on my pattern at the other end. Following it around. Now I'm going to turn my pattern around. Keep my block close by. Here's my mark. Here's the end of the S, and I'm going to come to about right here. So loud. Heat up the middle a little more. Getting close. I'm gonna do 2 letters together, and then this isn't enough glass, so I gotta weld some on. Lost my cork. Never panic. Here's my cork. That fell out. What do we got going on here? Has to come back a little bit. Blowing the cork out messed everything up. Bring this back some. Much better. Now I'm going to bend from here to the end. Long word. Some great stuff. All right, you want to mark? I'm going to put a mark on my S. Right there. That way I can just focus on that mark mostly. Make sure you have a clear bending path and everything goes to... This end over here is a little bit hotter, even though I waited a little while to get back in the fire. I'll just play with the other end. Open there. Block. Now I'm going to do a double back. Doesn't take long because this is already hot. See, it's already moving. right before I bend, I'm going to come around this side like this. And I bend, look at it. See it? It's still moving. And this bend is a drop. I'm marking the center bend. The center mark is the end of the glass, and then I want to heat up the thickness of the glass on either side of that mark to do the tinier, the 90s and drops and double back, things like that. I usually do my double backs over here. This is all my knees. I like to warm up the glass over here when I'm doing like a drop. And then as soon as I move, I'll come up here. When it's ready, I just drop it down, kind of push in, and puff. Now, mark my center mark is the center of that bend. Something like that. If I do this bend, it's going to get me into trouble. So, wait. Do your next bend. To 90. Well, mill glass bends really good in the ribbon burner. When you're ready, then puff. Lay it down, don't burn yourself. You're doing a demo. It's not worth it. Alright. Right here. Give me a double back. That's where you just, like a U bend. The neon dance. This is the neon dance. Alright, when I'm ready, you bend, look at it, globe. You don't really have to be concerned about your pattern because you're just going straight back. Now this is not long enough to finish the E. I'm going to cut this and weld this piece on so I can keep bending. Doing a weld, you have to hold the glass about a 1/4 inch apart from each other without it touching till it's ready to touch, which is now. Then you puff. Sometimes in and then out. Let gravity take over. This is a drop, I guess a combo bend, a drop 90. So the way I mark it is I mark the center of the bend at the end of the E. Now I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn up my flame a little. Flame is down a little bit. With my flames, this process takes about 30 seconds. And if you're not feeling it, count. No shame in that. Count in your head. I'm always listening to music and I'm always counting. When it gets close, hit the ends. As you're doing your bend, stay on the center. Bend, twist a little bit, and let it fall. Next bend's a 90. Hovering up high. Then I'll go in. That way you're not really shocking the glass. Sometimes I don't pay attention and I just go right in. I like to hover though. Using a soapstone, by the way. I like using a soapstone because it marks the glass hot. This is going to be a double back. And then once I do the last bend, it'll look like an E connected to an S. You can do what I'm doing, or you can stand in one spot over here and just work your hands back and forth. In the summertime, this is where I'll hang out because it's so hot. But when it's cooler out, it's comfortable standing in front of the ribbon burner, honestly. Do your bend. The last bend's marked. Like a 90, but a sharp 90 because it's angled a little bit. bend it and kind of push in. It's bold. All right, there's your E and your S. I already have the C and the N made. Now I have to make the A. I was going to do a demo of the K, the letter K. I'm going to use the new 6500 white, and it's not going to crack. Getting a piece of glass. This A has to come around and bend up on this hole. That's your housing hole. A lot of the older signs have housings, so you don't see any wiring. It's all inside the sign. Standard 90 bend. All these are standard bends. Practice your bends, you'll be bending. Letters, shapes. You're gonna make a stairway. Just keep doing 90 over and over. All right, when this is ready, I'll push in a little. Bend and puff. Pushing in a little kind of makes the glass thicker. Marking at the end. I'm also going to mark this bend at the same time. Double back, straight back. You have to make sure, if you're doing 2 seconds, do 2 seconds. 1 second, do 1 second. 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Full rotation, you want to just twist it. You don't have to worry. Basically, you got to get both sides evenly heated without screwing it up until it's ready to bend. When it's ready, bend it. Straight back. If you go straight back, you'll have a tighter bend when you drop it down. The more you angle it towards the drop, the looser your gap will be. Does that make sense? You're learning not what to do. All right, right on the end of the tube, either side of the tube. Sometimes you just gotta check your area. Come over here. Go to your lines. See my lines? Focus on the center a little. Go back to your line. In about 12 seconds. Just about ready. So focus on the center now. You can even do part of this bend in here. I'll do the whole bend in here. Then puff. Bring it to your pattern. You can do this, watch. This will keep you straight. And you come back down. Now, top of the letter. I went about 1.5 thickness on either side. In the center, mark a little more, come back to the side. Oop. Getting close. See it getting all bendy? Okay. Focusing on the ends. Do my bend. Puff. Always have your block close by. You gotta dry mouth. Now I'm flip my pattern around. I'm always flip my pattern around. Now I'm gonna do a raise. Start over here. And over there. It kind of puts an even heat on everything. Gun fires are more of a direct heat. You got to move it more. So now that this is moving, go over to the direct heat. Stay in the center a little. Go to your end. Center. Ready. Come out, lift. I did all my movements with this hand. All I did is hold the glass with this hand. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, you go fast.
Because I do it so fast. But that's what I did. Now I'm going to do another raise. This is for the electrode. Once it starts moving, over here, back and forth. Don't go past your ends. Hit the center a little more than your ends. And then when you're ready, go to the center, bend. It's just a slight bend up, puff. Now, I'm marking the end of my hole. I was going to use a 15 mil electrode. I would leave my line. Just barely leave my line. Since I'm using a 12 mil, or I would lose my line. I'm sorry. 15 mil electrode, I would cut right at the line and lose it. And then bend it. The center, that's like your center bend. But when I'm using a 12 mil electrode, I got to leave a little bit of the line. That's all I was trying to say. So, I will cut this right in front of the line. Now I can weld my electrode on. Alright, grab some of your hose. I'm going to go above a little bit with this electrode, about 8 seconds. Kind of heat it up, preheat it. I've had so many of these crack because they just don't make things like they used to, do they? Alright, it's ready. Heat them up. Touch them together. Stay on your weld, come to this side. Stay on your weld, come to this side, come up. You want your bend to be on the far side of the weld. Now it should be right over my hole. Go down on top. Now I'm going to tubulate, because neither of these electrodes had a tubulation in them. So I mark it. I always try to do a spot where there's not much weight. This would be a good spot. 2 marks, you got to pop a hole in the center of that. Turn my flames down a tiny bit. I always flare out my tubulation glass. Usually about that much. Now, hold it above the fire. I'm not applying any pressure yet. I'm just trying to get that spot hot. And keep this close to the fire. Come out, blow. It's already forming a little dimple. See the dimple? Now you go back in. Again, do it again. Ooh. Wait about 3 or 4 seconds, blow. Come out. Gotta be patient. How long did it take you to make the letter, you know? Go back in. Heat it up.
Yeah, fire and everything.
Huh?
Try to go above the fire.
Oh, fire everywhere? Alright. Behind the scenes, man. This is the whole process right here. See that? Now I got a nice hole. Now, you wait about 10 seconds. When I'm in a hurry, I'll blow through the glass to cool this faster so I can do my weld. But that's when I'm in production mode, and I'm not really in production mode. I'm in show you how to do it mode. So,
I'm going to try to put it on this side.
If you get this too hot, it'll kink on you. So you got to go in and out. Touch them. Puff. Pull. Tubulation. Bend it over. And that's how you attach this to the manifold. So you can put the gas in the tube. Now you set this aside. Let it cool naturally. And grab your other letter. When I'm bending, I'm always working on 2 or 3 sticks at a time. That way you can make sure you don't burn yourself. So now, we're welding an electrode on this end. Same deal. End of the tube, make a mark. $12 mil electrodes, leave a mark.
Yes, there's fire. I keep going over this one.
Yep, I am. That's exactly where I'm going.
Buried in my big torch.
Here. Sorry about that. All right, hover. In about 8 seconds, I always do that, or I try to. With the smaller electrodes, 15 mil are pretty beefy. Hover as close as you can without touching till they're ready. Touch, puff. Now I'm heating up the closer to the electrode. Still a little bit on the weld. Bend. Puff. Keep burning yourself. All right. We have check. Yeah. All right. Now, all together.
Like that.
Turn my pattern around again. A. Turn it over. I always turn the glass over if I can. You can pull it right apart. Now, I'll make a mark on the pattern where I want to cut the other one. Lined up. I usually put, everybody has their own way of marking the patterns. I'll put a line on each side for a weld and one line where I'm bending. Some people go all the way through for their weld. Everybody marks it separate, but it's good to come up with some marking methods. Now, you lay that on there. Mark this with a marker. Cut it. Clear glass is cool because you can see through it. And then this end, make sure you look before you cut. I'm going to cut this before I got a mark here for making the other side. So, right there. This you don't have to flip over. You're far enough away. You got enough leverage. You can grab it. Only when you're doing a close weld or a close cut. Here's my file. Here's my sander. That's what I use to sharpen my file. Usually hit them a couple times a week. I got like 6 files laying everywhere because I'm always losing my file. Here's another. Here's another one. I got thin ones to get in tight areas. You can also use a Dremel, which I don't do that, but you can. I'm going to mark this better. Now, we get all these cut and ready. More good from the end. Tap it. When you got a long stick, that leverage will help it cut. You just got to score it good with a good sharp file. All right, first weld. Turn the letters upside down. Hovering in there. Do my weld. I'm trying to keep the glass together. I'm not pulling on it yet. Just gonna puff, go to my pattern, and then adjust. Make sure all the letters line up. If your ends don't line up, don't even worry about it. You can fix that later. All right, now you weld your next one on. The hand torches for adjustments. Well, that's what I use it for. There's my tubulation. I shouldn't be holding it by that. All right. Hover on the outside. About an inch. I guess I'm about 3/4 of an inch apart from each other. Once I see them, notice them turning, then I'll go in closer. Once they're cherry red, you touch them. Touch them and puff. If you don't think it's sealed, suck in a little. Take it to your pattern. All right,
The second half of appliances, answers.
there it is. Stay tuned. I'm sure be posting a video of the whole sign done. That was the last unit.